don't be afraid to ask for help. That would be my one piece of advice, because people here, students and teachers, are very willing to help.
Hi, it's Brian Master with Our Kids Media once again, and a special guest today, a graduate of the People's Christian Academy. Hi, Allison Lam. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you. I wonder if we can get started by just finding out a little bit about you. For example, could just start by giving us a summary of what you've been up to since you graduated from People's Christian Academy, or we're going to call it PCA for this interview, if that's okay with you.
For sure.
Okay, so where are you going to school post-secondary? What are you studying, and what are you up to now day to day?
Okay. Well, I am planning on studying at Savannah College of Art and Design down in Georgia for architecture. What am I doing these days? I have a part-time job at a restaurant. I can't do much because of coronavirus, but having fun, keeping safe.
Yeah, good. Do you think PCA influenced your choice of university and where to study and what to study, I should say?
I think not People's Christian Academy in specific, but just because of the situation I grew up with. I have been at PCA for the past 14 years, and I've also lived in this house for my entire life, actually. So I guess I needed a bit of a change. I wanted to do something big, I guess, in this big life decision. So that's why I decided to study in the States.
And where are you studying again? In Savannah, Georgia, right?
Yes.
Beautiful place.
Yeah, for sure.
If you were to write a resume, Allison, that listed your experiences and accomplishments while at PCA, what would it say? For example, how would you, what about the things that you preferred, the studies you preferred and excelled at, and also some of the extracurricular activities at PCA?
Well, personally, I really enjoyed the sports that I was involved with, such as volleyball, softball, ultimate frisbee, badminton, just a few of them. I really enjoy working in a team in that kind of environment, as well as the drama department. Being on the drama team is a lot of work, but it's really fulfilling once we finally get to that production night. I've also managed to make it to honor roll my past 4 years in high school, and yeah, I really enjoy math.
Right.
I know a lot of people don't say that. Art, for
Right.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned being on the drama team. That's really something going through that experience. I kind of vouch for that personally, where you as a team put something together, and there's a real bond that continues on from that.
For sure, yeah.
Just take a moment then and think about this, Allison. What's your proudest memory of the People's Christian Academy? Your proudest memory?
I would definitely say production night for our drama team. I didn't know it then, but the last 2 days of being on campus for my high school career was actually the 2 production nights we had on March 13th and 14th. And it was really quite an experience. I think we were all a little bit aware of what was happening in the world, and knowing that we were going to be away for at least 4 weeks, we were all kind of dealing with that, as well as the pressure of being on stage and everything like that. And it really did come together well, I would say. Not ideal, but I can't complain, I guess.
And what was
But
it like?
definitely, the drama night was one of my proudest moments.
That's great. And what play did you do?
We actually did a original written by my teacher, my English teacher, and also our drama director. It was called Penny Grand.
Oh, okay. What was it, a mystery, or was it just not a rom-com or anything like that?
No, it was kind of like a slice of life kind of family, a little bit comedic, a little bit just a reality kind of thing. I don't know what genre that would be called.
Did
Definitely a
you
comedy.
did you have a leading role?
I was the sister of Penny Grand, yes.
Oh, cool. Think back to when you and your family were choosing People's Christian Academy. Um, how and why did you choose that school?
So actually, I have been at PCA for 14 years. I've been here since I was 4. But most people actually choose to move schools, move to a public school between grade 8 and grade 9.
Mm-hmm.
And during that time, I think my parents and I decided that we would stay at PCA just because of its Christian foundation. All the teachers at PCA are Christian, and just because of that, they put so much more uh, care. And also the fact that PCA is not a big school, so each student gets a little bit more focus um, per teacher, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. And because of their Christian background, they were able to not only teach us, but to mentor us in, life decisions and just life problems in general.
Right. You felt looked after. You felt cared about.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Let's. This might dovetail with that last answer. Then, if you had to pick one thing, what did you appreciate most about attending PCA?
I would say the teachers. Definitely, definitely in the last year of high school, like knowing that we would not be in this same environment of being a teacher and student and more perhaps friends later
Hmm.
on. Um, I would dare say that we grew closer as friends with our teachers because they were just looking after us. They were thinking about our future and what life would be like in university and just mentoring us in those things um, during our classes.
And have you? Oh, well, you haven't been to Savannah physically, have you? You've been doing it online.
Actually, I have. I visited once last summer for a summer program. I visited the campus, and there was like a little um, program to teach architecture and interior design stuff I was interested in. So yes, I have
And
visited
you
Savannah.
and you felt welcome there.
Yeah, for sure.
Good, good. Let's step back and try and see PCA as objectively as possible. To the best of your knowledge and in your mind, Allison, what differentiates PCA from other schools families may choose instead of it?
I think I can't narrow it down to one, but maybe two things.
Okay.
The first would be its class size. So actually, PCA's graduating class this year was 25, 26 people. So definitely not the
Wow.
size of a normal public school. Um, so that would mean a lot of focus and attention can be divvied up in only 25 people. And that would mean the second thing, our teachers being very involved with our academic study and being able to help us even for extra hours out of their time to teach us and make sure we understand the concepts we're learning, which is really sets PCA apart from other high schools.
So they would take time with you after class to help you you were having a challenge with. Is that it?
Yeah, sometimes they would offer like maybe during lunch hours, they would say students can come in and just review questions they have. Um, Maybe not as often after school, but definitely during their breaks, maybe even during our spares, if they don't have a class to teach, they would be willing to help us out.
That must have felt very encouraging for you that you were being looked after that way.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun with this, Allison. Say PCA, People's Christian Academy, was to become personified. That is, the school is going to be a person. And if you
Okay.
could please describe that person named PCA, if you could describe that person's personality in 3 words.
Uh, I would say um, small. Does that count as a personality? No, no, that would be a
That's more
physical
dimension.
character. Maybe caring. I would say. Um, hmm.
You alluded to it in the past answers.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know how to put this into a personality trait, but very like older brother, like familial. Like kind of like a family. I don't know if there's
Oh,
a
that's
word for that.
that familial. That's good. Yeah.
Familial?
Yeah.
Is would that be a personality trait?
I'd say yeah.
Okay. That kind of was what I was trying to get at for small, like because of its size,
Oh,
feels like a family. And um, hmm, can I say
good sense of humor.
fun?
Oh,
Honestly,
okay.
I had a
Fun.
fun time at PCA.
So there's the three you've come up with: the caring, familial, and fun. Sounds
Yeah,
like sounds like the kind of person you want to be around.
yeah, for sure.
Excellent. Now, getting a little more serious, what would you say are the school's highest values in actual practice?
Definitely academic studies would be one of them. Um, I feel like PCA has a bit of a culture that um, we need to do well, not explicitly, but between the students, like we all strive to do well, and we all, um, I guess, spur each other on in that way. But it might not always be the best for some people, especially if they're struggling. They might feel down about themselves for not getting such high grades. But for the most part, we're all encouraging of each other just to get good marks and to strive for our best. Um, Secondly, I would say it's Christian values. We are a Christian school, that much is obvious, and the rules that are implemented, say with like dress code or with behavioral rules, like we shouldn't be fighting each other,
No.
those things are very valued at PCA because we want to be a family. We want to make sure everyone is loved and cared for. So our Christian values are kind of implemented into us. We're taught to just be kind to each other. I think those
Excellent.
would be the top two things.
Those are pretty great values. Um, what do you think students and families would find surprising about PCA? What surprised you when you were there?
Um, hmm, Perhaps class size. You don't often see a graduating class of 25 people.
No.
um,
And was the graduation held online?
it was actually in person.
Oh,
The way it worked, actually, that was one of the benefits of being such a small graduating class. We could place the chairs like 6 meters apart, and we had it on our school lawn. It was a sight to see, to be honest.
I'd like to see that picture at some point.
Yeah,
So you said the class size is probably the most surprising.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe the facilities. That's a maybe downside because we're not government funded. We're using the money perhaps from tuition to continue furthering this school.
Hmm.
And so some of it is not actually developed yet. They're planning on making a new gym, but as of right now, it's just this big empty space
Oh, okay.
that hasn't been furnished yet. Yeah.
So they are progressing. That's great. Now, if you could please describe for me a typical student at at PCA. Say in your high school years, what was a typical student like?
Um, on average, a lot of people would be striving hard to get good marks. So I would say their average would be high 80s, a typical student. Um,
How do you remember them relating to one another?
we're, I don't think anyone would hate each other because since it's such a small school, you kind of see everyone all the time and can't really escape them if you wanted to.
Right.
So no one has this really pent up, built up hate for each other. I think the the furthest you would be from each other would be acquaintances, and that's about it. If not, you would be friends, you would be best friends. You know, I think we were all we had a good energy with each other.
Did you continue through, you were there for 14 years, you said. Did you continue with your same friends that started in, say, kindergarten all the way up?
A few of them, yes.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, one of my best friends I met in SK, because actually in JK we had two different classes, so I didn't know her back then.
Yeah.
But along the way, as people joined the school, I became friends with them as well. So another one of my friends, she came in around grade 9. So you know, it's different. People come in, people go, and yeah, I've definitely stuck to some of them who've been here since JK.
That's fabulous. Now I'm going to get a little personal with this one, Allison. Do you think your experience at People's Christian Academy has shaped who you are today as a person?
Yeah, I
And in
think
what?
so.
Yeah, in what way?
I I think I see myself as fairly proper. I actually have I work at a restaurant, right? Some of my coworkers, you know, they can be a little bit rowdy, they can be very over the top, and that's not to say it's a bad thing, but for me growing up, it might be my own personality as well, but I'm a bit of an introvert. So um, I guess just being at PCA has created me to be very conservative and very like reserved, I guess. Not completely over the top, saying hi to everyone I see, and yeah, I'm very
I'd say well mannered.
well mannered. That's a good word, yes.
Yeah.
Well mannered and very polite. I don't know, like how you would act if you meet someone's parents for the first time. That kind of personality.
Call them
And I
Mr.
think
and
that.
Mrs.
Sorry.
Call them Mr. and Mrs.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
That has been kind of a side effect of me being at PCA for so long.
I think that's important to have that character, especially these days.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's think back on your experience, your long experience at PCA. Allison, if you had to pick something to change about the school, what do you think it would be? What would have helped you, for example, if something was different about the school?
Hmm. Well, one thing I know people have criticized about, and I can kind of see their point here, is that we are very sheltered in a way that all the teachers are Christian. Most people around us, like the students, are Christian. And so we're not very exposed to bad things. Like swearing is not common at PCA. It I was kind of shocked when people would just swear casually, and yeah, that's something that like I wasn't used to, you know. And things like I don't want to get like graphic, but you know, sexual things or
Oh,
maybe violent things that isn't really part of something I've experienced. And um, so I don't know, maybe I'll experience a culture shock once I get to uh, post-secondary, but um,
but but do you,
I don't know if I would change that, but maybe having a bit of experience in that way would have been beneficial to me.
oh, a little more worldly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's quite an interesting thing to say that you thought it should have been. How can I put it? Like maybe a little more open to the not so well-mannered ways of the world.
Hmm.
Yeah, that can be a good education. And now, how's your perspective on PCA and your experience there evolved over time? I mean, it's only been a few months, but what's it feel like not being there?
Um, I'm definitely sad. I miss my friends, but there's nothing, you know, we can't do with all this technology we have now. Um, you know, I'm able to stay connected to friends, but with my teachers, I don't have that day-to-day like meeting with them, and I don't really go out of my way to message them online. So I definitely do miss them. Um, in terms of my opinion on PCA, um, it was it was definitely a great experience, but I think I'm ready for a change. And once I graduated, after I got over that, uh, oh man, it's over kind of experience, then I started to kind of move on, and I'm really excited to uh, experience what post-secondary will be like.
How long is your course going to be in Savannah?
My course?
Yeah. Or how long will you be there, do you think?
So the program is 4 years.
It's in
Uh,
architecture, right?
yes.
Yeah.
And, whoa, the light is doing weird things. Um, and I will actually be in Toronto studying online. Let me just,
Yeah.
that's better. I will actually be online for the fall semester until, hopefully, fingers crossed, I can move into the States in January.
Do you, just getting back to your perspective on the school, you alluded to it a little bit. Um, do you miss your friends? Do you miss going to school every day there?
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
I don't miss waking up at like 7 to go to school.
7, that's late.
Yeah. Um,
Some
yeah,
people,
that like being with each other in person, it's different. It's definitely, I think it's better than being online. I definitely miss it. I missed out on a lot of clubs, so that was unfortunate.
oh yeah, you mentioned you were in quite a few things, including sports teams.
Hmm.
Let's move on here with this. Allison, do you recommend that other students enroll at People's Christian Academy?
Definitely, I do.
Okay, can you give us 3 reasons why they would?
I think that PCA has a very good academic foundation. Um, it's tough. I'm gonna be honest. It's pretty tough to um, stay. It's not hard to like complete the courses, but because of the culture that these students have of like having 90s, having 80s, like it's I it could be taking it as, well, it can be taken as an encouragement or a discouragement, but you're going to want to stay around average with your peers just because that's the culture that we have. So academically, I think it's really solid. I think these teachers are very well versed, and um, yeah, I think you'll enjoy the courses. A lot of them are fun to learn with the teachers that you have. Secondly, I would say if you want a solid Christian foundation, this may be for parents in specific. Like if you want your child to develop these Christian attributes, then definitely my teachers will help your student,
Okay.
your kid learn these things. Um, and thirdly, if you want your kid to have um, lifelong friendships, for sure, I would say PCA is a place to go because, you're going to be with these people for most of your classes and you're going to develop deep bonds with them.
That's an excellent answer. Outside of those 3 things, though, is there anything you would say to a family considering PCA, People's Christian Academy, right now? What should they know? Aside from the 3 things you just mentioned, the courses and teachers, the Christian aspect, and the friends aspect.
What should they know? Um, okay, for one, because of our small size, some of these courses aren't offered. So, say photography. I know a few of my friends in public high school had a photography course that wasn't directly offered to us, but instead it was journalism, which is like a mix of writing and photography and all that.
Oh,
So the courses offered aren't always going to be available to you because maybe only one person is interested in it and they're not going to have a one person class. Um, so just watch out for that.
okay.
Um,
That's a
Also,
good
the
answer.
facilities aren't. sorry, I keep cutting you off.
It's okay.
The facilities aren't completely developed yet, so you're gonna get good science labs, but sometimes the gym roof will leak. Like you win some, you lose some.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's going to be part of my next question.
Mhm.
What about to a family who's going to tour or visit the school? What would you draw their attention to above all
So not the unfinished gym,
else? Okay.
but we have this really nice skylit hallway. It's like the pride and joy of our school. Basically, they're just windows along the roof of the hallway, and it's really nice when it's sunny out. And I would say focus on that. Also, we have like some really good science labs. We have a couple computer labs down one hallway. I would definitely point the family to that if they're interested in facilities for academic purposes. Um, yeah, I think
Okay.
those two are the main things.
Terrific. And finally, Allison, I'm going to give you center stage here. Imagine you're talking to a student who's just entered People's Christian Academy, PCA. They've just entered, and you've got one piece of advice for them. What is that?
Don't be afraid to ask for help. That would be my one piece of advice, because people here, students and teachers, are very willing to help. Sometimes grade 9s, grade 10s can be intimidated by the teachers because, it's like, oh man, I have to do well in high school, and they have this like aspect of fear. But these
Really?
teachers are, yeah, it's just high school. Like, I gotta do well in high school. But for sure, these teachers are willing to help, whether it be academically or in your life. Um, and students as well. These, my friends are so caring, and yeah, people will be here to help you if you need it.